An entrepreneur is one of the most inspired kinds of people you can imagine being around. These are people who are following what they're passionate about, and they're figuring out how to monetize that idea for themselves and others. And I can't imagine any greater gift to the world than doing something like that. As I looked at my own career path and my own go forward, I was committed to a vision from then forward to empower 1 billion women by 2020. So I called Steve Felice, who is the president and chief commercial officer of Dell, and I shared with him my vision and sort of my role and commitment to women of the world. And together we dreamt up this idea of working together and created the Entrepreneur in Residence position. And we started out saying, okay, the primary purpose of the Entrepreneur in Residence position is to bridge the outside in. The tradition of an EIR, is what we're called for short, is that we launch our next business venture while we are an Entrepreneur in Residence. I thought I would launch another green energy company because those were my last 2 companies. But after being engaged with Dell, seeing again their continued commitment, I built a business plan basically with my team to create what's now called the Dell Innovators Credit Fund. And that is essentially an initiative, a $100 million campaign to put together initiatives and funding that will help entrepreneurs be successful in their business. I actually grew up thinking I would be a missionary. So I really felt as a kid that I wanted to go out and be in service to people of the world. And what I realized as I got older is that I'm a pretty effective capitalist as well. And I like to solve problems that haven't been solved before. This September, I'll be launching my first school for women and girls down in Haiti. So I've teamed with a group called Haiti Partners down right outside of Port-au-Prince, and we will be bringing a school to teach the women and girls down there how to see themselves as leaders and as visionaries and as people who can make a difference in their community, and then certainly teach them about entrepreneurship. My mentor, Red McCombs, who's a popular guy here in Austin, and I just love Red, he's amazing. And I'll never forget him saying to me, he's like, failure, Ingrid, he's like, it's a big kick in the gut. And I was like, that's exactly what it's like. You really have those days where you're sort of balled up on your bed and completely depressed, and you just don't think you can get up and face another day. First of all, you feel like you're completely by yourself and nobody will understand what you're going through. And again, oftentimes we're embarrassed and we're shameful, and we don't want to admit what's actually going on. And so what that tends to make us do is sort of isolate ourselves, and we want to figure it out. I mean, being an entrepreneur is one of the most rewarding things you can do in your life, but it's also one of the most challenging things. When you're an entrepreneur, you've got to be a person that is, on the one hand, very humble and very centered about what are you really trying to accomplish, and you got to balance that with the ego to believe that you can make this thing happen. When everybody else is saying there is no way, it'll never get funded, nobody will believe in it, you've got to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I can make this happen. I launched a company, this has now been years ago, thank God it's in the rearview mirror, but I believed so much in the success of this company and the potential of the company, I couldn't get it funded to save my life. I'm running out of my own money, how am I gonna fund this company? Had it not been for my friends, I was living out of my car. And I just kept thinking, if I just stick with this a little bit longer, I can get this thing turned around. I ended up not being able to turn that venture around. Any successful entrepreneur that you look at has gone through their own level of failure, whether it's divorce, death in the family, bankruptcy, whatever. You cannot be a successful entrepreneur without having hit complete rock bottom at some point. And a lot of entrepreneurs probably feel this way. It's both a gift and a curse when you have a mind that just pushes like ours will do. And I often find myself, okay, what's good enough? When's good enough? And then I think about my mentor and Michael Dell's mentor, Dr. George Kosmetsky. When he passed away, he was literally sitting at his table with his computer screens up, working on his next deal. And when I listen in meditation to sort of how things are probably going to pan out for me, I have a feeling it's going to be very similar to that. So I don't know that there's ever a point when I'm going to stop. I think I challenge myself to continue to expand in every sense of the word.